Hello there, this is SME On Point with me, Diabo Seto. A little later on, I'll be bringing you this week's mental wellness video from a mental and a doctor, Dr. Vuyo. We remember that we did introduce this last week, where we will be getting a lot of professionals to come through to the show and give us a short video of the week on how you can keep your mental wellness in check as you run your small business. But first, this artificial intelligence is changing the face of the world. Software developers have come with what has now been described as an obsession of sorts in ChatGPT. But right here in our backyard, Betha Hokong has developed mobileGPT, which is delivered via WhatsApp. She believes this can revolutionize the country's education system. Take a look. Ask anyone about the craze that is ChatGPT and spark a whole infinite conversation about the pros and cons. An application that some will say will spur efficiency, while others say it is the fastest way to kill creativity. Software developer Betha Hokong, who has developed mobileGPT in South Africa, likens the views on this new technology to when the calculator was first invented.
When calculators first came out, people thought, oh no, but kids are not going to learn how to add anymore because now they've got a calculator. They're not going to learn maths because you don't need to now multiply it in your head. You can just put it in the calculator. But actually over time, what that did is that it enabled kids to learn faster and to learn more complex problems because now they didn't have to think about the 1 + 1. Yeah. So I think AI is going to be the exact same thing. So many things that we did manually that was tedious, now we're going to have a helper on the other hand. It's only going to elevate our ability to do our work because now we don't have to do the tedious work. It's going to take us to the next level of, I think, productivity.
Yeah. The first draw card of Hokong's mobileGPT is that it is already integrated into WhatsApp, making it convenient. Hokong says the biggest leap in the AI revolution started in the last year when OpenAI released the language model. For her, it was to take it to the next level and integrate it into WhatsApp, making it convenient and even easier to use.
And with mobileGPT, it's why we also took it a step further and said, let's make it even more accessible and put it on WhatsApp. So now it's on WhatsApp, you can access it via WhatsApp. Now imagine you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to maybe even do market research or prepare a proper pitch deck or something, you're going to meet investors and you want to get yourself properly, versed in a specific subject, For you to spend the time, to spend hours going through the library and you won't even know what you are missing. So let's say you do find some articles and you read and you prepare something, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. When you ask a language model like this, it's going to tell you everything. You'll know that you're not missing anything. And you can take all of that information. So it's about efficiency.
Besides the WhatsApp integration, Hokong says mobileGPT offers features such as image generation and document generation. Although building the software in a month was the easiest part for her, she did encounter some challenges along the way.
We struggled with, people, for example, thinking that maybe we are a scam, So even I can tell you we got blocked from Facebook, from Twitter, from Google, we got our accounts were suspended. We've got suspended from all those places when we were trying to talk about our product, especially when I'm trying to say, oh, we've got ChatGPT on WhatsApp, because it sounded like, no, this is a scam. Because the ChatGPT is this language model, how can you have it on WhatsApp? Because now we're also introducing a new technology that has never been done. So people, when they saw it, they thought maybe we're scamming people. Or we are doing a scam. So that was a big challenge at the beginning. I had to go through so many reviews or processes or appeals to prove and submit evidence. So, did you try it out? This is not a scam. And then later we found that actually there is other people that are actually doing this kind of scams.
The global AI market value is expected to reach $267 billion by 2027. This means it has the potential to either disrupt or enhance the education system, particularly in a country like South Africa. As it is, some schools have already banned the use of the technology, but Hokong says, in fact, AI can help the education system if used correctly.
My opinion is we need to now teach differently. Same as when a calculator was introduced. We didn't say let's ban the calculator because people are not going to learn maths. No, let's use the calculator. Let's use ChatGPT to teach. we know that people can now ask it to tell me about the Anglo-Boer War. So let's not ask that kind of question. Let's ask a different question that helps them learn using the knowledge that's now available. Because we're not going to stop technology and progress.
Yeah. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg. Thank you so much to Betha Khokong for sharing the story of her mobile GPT. We did try it out. It's really awesome. Indeed, if you do have a chance to have a look at it and play around with it, it's quite awesome indeed. To this now, according to Epson, small businesses can contribute in a big way to the environment. Investors and financiers are looking for businesses that are more compliant with ESGs. Those are environmental, social and governance practices. But to take us through about how you can become compliant, we are joined via Zoom by Timothy Thomas. He's the country manager at Epson. Timothy, welcome to SME On Point. Thank you very much for your time. Take us through the craze also that is something of a ChatGPT, which is the ESG, which is where the world is moving to. And also SMEs are now expected to be compliant with those practices. Tell us more about it.
Good afternoon, Liaba. Yes, the printing world has changed significantly over the past 5 to 10 years. And in particular, over the last 2 to 3 years, you've seen a significant change in technology. Many of us are accustomed to the old, large, traditional laser printer, which sits in the corner of your office. And that technology has evolved significantly over the past few years. So what that means for small businesses in particular is that on one hand, you now have a much more cost-efficient solution to printing, something which really does help small businesses to be more profitable in the longer term. And then secondly as well, it's also about providing small businesses with equipment which supports a more sustainable future and a more sustainable environment at the end of the day as well. These technologies nowadays require a lot less running parts. We use a very, very different technology as opposed to what we've become used to over the years. And so therefore, small businesses are indirectly now have a platform to be able to use technology which doesn't have such a large impact on the environment.
Yeah. What kind of innovations have you come across that you think these are the ones that are going to take the world by storm, at the same time being environmentally friendly? Because I'm sure we can see across the world just how global warming, for instance, is impacting on our daily lives. We've seen floods here in South Africa, for instance, and if nothing is done about it, obviously promises to be worse. What are some of the most interesting innovations that you have come across?
It's a very good question, Liaba, and I think when you look at printing technology today, printing is something in particular when it comes to a business environment, whether that be in a small business environment or a larger business environment. It's something which we use every single day, and so as part of the evolution of printing and the newer technologies that are now available to customers, the new heat-free inkjet technology, which Epson has really pioneered, has really now delivered a solution to customers which, first and foremost, doesn't require heat during the printing process, and therefore it consumes much less electricity. We all know in South Africa the challenges that we have around electricity, and these devices now are able to either run on a UPS solution, so you're never down and you can continue to operate even when you're in load shedding, or secondly, even if you do have renewable energy sources such as solar, etc., the power consumption on these devices, because of the heat-free technology, now enabled small businesses to continue to print even when there is load shedding.
Yeah.
And so I think it doesn't matter what industry you're involved in. The most important thing is that you can continue to operate consistently. And with the new Epson heat-free technology, you're now in a position where you are able to continue to print on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, I hope you did have some time to have a listen to our featured business of the week, where we talk to the developer of mobileGPT, and I'm curious about your thoughts about where artificial intelligence will feature in the printing industry in future.
Yeah, it was a very interesting topic, and very much like where mobile chat GP is moving to, and these newer technologies, in the same way that printing has evolved over the years. And many people always used to say that with the invention of digital transformation and the ability to consume your data through your tablet device, etc., that printing would eventually slow down. Well, we've seen not only in South Africa but across the world that printing is now beginning to become a technology which is utilized more and more based on the needs of businesses. And so the importance of finding new technologies and being part of these new technologies was absolutely critical. The other factor to always take into account is, looking at debunking some of the myths around printing. We all know that sometimes with printing, with the old technology and devices, that it used to leave quite a significant amount of waste.
Yeah.
I think we're all used to, having to get rid of toner cartridges,
yes,
and throwing them away. Nowadays, with the progression of technology, the impact of the waste that is generated through these devices is now significantly less. So the mark that small businesses are leaving on the environment has been significantly reduced. And so the same way as sort of mobile chat GP is changing that environment, so too is printing moving on as well.
Right. Timothy, thank you so much for your views and your time in joining us here on SME On Point. Timothy Thomas is with Epsons, is the country manager for Epsons, and he's been telling us about how small businesses can contribute to making the environment a much more safer place. And as I said at the beginning of SME On Point, this was a very exciting addition to SME On Point that we started last week, a sub-feature on mental wellness, a check-in, where we give every week, we give you as an entrepreneur, small business owner, a tip from a doctor or a mental health activist about how this week or this coming week you can navigate your business while keeping your mental health in check. And it looks like we don't have a clip ready. We don't have a clip. No, we don't. But our contributor was going to become Dr. Vuyo, and he was telling us about how you have to make sure that you separate yourself from the business so that both can work. But when you go to our Facebook channel, we will be able to put up that video where you'll be able to see Dr. Vuyo Yoko, who's a medical doctor and a mental wellness activist, and to hear what he has had to say. And that's all we had for you from SME On Point for this week. Until next week, Nzinga is coming back with more business news. To stay with us.